So we're going to talk about something that I think is really important in sales, which is called reactive and proactive selling. And there's a real big difference between the two if we really think about it. But the thing that we got to think about also beforehand is really the fear of change. Change is tough for a lot of people.
And change is very deep right now, especially with what happened. Even whenever we look back at 2020, it's almost like just this heavy resistance to change. It was already there, but I think 2020 brought that out even more.
I agree. In sales, especially if we're being proactive, we are the messenger of change. And why should they change to you? That's a key thing in proactivity, is really looking at what you can do to help people change. But we got to be mindful of what's going on with our customers.
You know, we were even talking about this morning, where as business owners for both of us, we can be called on by a number of industries and things that we purchase and vendors that we support. And even just to be asked to change right now, it's like, just not right now. Mm-hmm. And we've got a picture that our customers face that same thing, and you're facing that same thing. And so we are the messenger, as you just mentioned, we are the messenger of change. Why should they change to you? And that conviction is there that you have something that you can help others with. But let's look at some real world scenarios and some situations that have happened.
Definitely. If we look at the first one, the dynamics of face-to-face meetings has changed, if you think about it. You need to earn the right today versus falling back on having the opportunity to see your customers face-to-face.
Customers have become comfortable with virtual selling tools. Maybe if they didn't even use them before, now they're more comfortable. And many have actually grown to prefer that method of communication versus a face-to-face meeting.
Right. And then last, having to earn the right for face-to-face meetings, companies are changing their business model. And your concern is, how am I going to maintain and grow my business with limited face-to-face interactions? So what do we do?
Well, it's stepping outside of your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
And I think as we've spoken to so many representatives over the past year, couple of years, it's almost this, I've been schooled my entire life in reading body language and playing off of people, and now I don't have those visuals anymore. So what are some things we do? So reactive.
Reactive, let's think about it. What are some of the words that come to mind when we say we're going to be reactive to this situation?
Well, I think of just stress or behind the eight ball, unprepared, or even defensive. And, you know, we've talked about this where if we've been that way, it's almost like your thought process is not totally the sharpest.
Right.
Because you're more in a reactive stance. You're not thinking as clearly.
And it's not a fun place to be, if you think about it. Being in a reactive type of a situation, it really does heighten that stress level, which in overall circumstances, we're not making the best decisions. But let's flip that. What if we were going to say, we're going to be proactive about this situation or this customer? I even like the word better. I don't know about you.
Absolutely. So when I think of proactive, it's much more having a game plan, having a strategy, being able to have a thought process that's clearly laid out.
Having the time in order to have that thought process, which is critical, especially if you're in that sales situation, you're in negotiations, that type of thing. You got to have the time to think of what the best strategy is.
Yes. And by the way, we're going to provide you some tools that say, okay, I don't have time. Well, then what do? We have some things that are very, very clear cut that are going to provide a path to be able to say, in a short amount of time, how do I show up every week prepared? So we'll come back to that. But our goal is really to provide processes, insight, inspiration to help you drive sales growth and really learn new ways, not just to survive, but to be able to thrive no matter what's thrown your way.
And there's a lot that gets thrown our way.